Mindful of the refocusing of Nigerian government under President Muhammadu Buhari to ease the process of doing business in Nigeria, particular attention was paid to the process of acquisition of Nigerian visas abroad. Top on the priority was to enhance the security of the visa process and to make the process as simple as possible. In order to achieve this, the government engaged a private firm, the Integrated Online Solutions, OIS, the premises of which we are here this afternoon, to facilitate the biometric visa system through online visa application, payment and biometric data capturing. This system, which differs substantially from the former, requires the physical presence of visa applicants at the OIS office here for their biometric data capturing. As many of you may know, this aligns the Nigeria visa system with current global best practices and should be appreciated as part of the ongoing structural reforms in Nigeria, which makes her a positively competitive global actor. The new visa regime is already operational, and the feedback so far is very positive. The process, no doubt, are not without some inconveniences, as it now requires additional travels and attendant cost, but the benefits far outweighs the cost. It is hoped that the general public will appreciate this and continue to show their usual understanding.
How do we go about applying for a 6-month or a 12-month visa? A visa that's longer than the normal 3-month that we keep seeing. So we just like to know what are the requirements, are there additional requirements, and what do you need to see?
I'd like to know what group of people or age of people are exempted from the biometrics to apply for Nigerian visa. And following on the key of the question, the fellow asks, what is the validity of the biometrics done? I know some countries it's 5 years. When you do it, you don't need to do it for 5 years, some for 1 year, for 3 years. Is there a validity period when you do the biometrics if you want to apply again, or do you have to do it every time you want to apply for a visa?
How safe is the information, and has it been tested since October? How safe is the personal information that's fed into the biometric system? Is it a system that is also working with the different countries, for example, Swaziland, Zambia, and all the other African countries?
Once you are applying for multiple visa, ensure that you have visited Nigeria previously, and there is a kind of history on your visit to Nigeria. And if we don't have any local objections to that, you will be granted a multiple entry visa. We're encouraging people who are doing business in Nigeria to constantly visit Nigeria, and we wouldn't want you to keep coming for visa at every opportunity. Those whom we feel qualify for it without paying anything extra other than what you have paid to obtain a multiple visa, and the fact that you have a good history of travel to Nigeria 1, 2, 3 times, I believe you are qualified for a multiple entry visa. The Nigerian Immigration Service is working towards a more proof process that will not require you to come all the time to do a biometric process after you have been captured once. That is a process, and in a very few weeks from now, that decision will be out. And if it is out, we'll communicate it to you accordingly, and you will be saved the pressure of having to come here physically all the time. But note that the first time you must come, and maybe one other time or some other time, depending on the decision that is coming out. Once that decision is out, you will be kept abreast of it accordingly. Under 5 years of age are exempted, and 65 years and above are also exempted. Other than that, every other person will have to undergo the biometric visa process. How safe is the information that is being imputed into the system for a biometric visa? Like I said, this process, it is a process that is going towards, as it is, the practice that is in the best practices in the world today. And we are doing everything possible to ensure that whatever information that you impute on the system is well protected. And that is important because we know that the information should not fall into the hands of those who do not have the need to know.
Before we launched the process in October in South Africa last year, we had tested it in the lab for a long period before it came out into, we cannot be testing with people's live data. So we already tested it back office to make sure that once we came on live, we got everything right. So that's why we are happy today that in terms of feedback, we are getting a very good response in terms of what we are able to deliver with this process. As of today, OIS is in 21 locations worldwide, and we are performing biometrics in some of the biggest countries in the world. We have our biometric system in the United States of America running. We have in China, we have in the United States, we have in India, we have in South Africa here, we have in the UAE, we have in Europe. So it's something that is the thing that is the next stage. We can't go back now. We just have to make it happen.